Wonder Woman Challenge of the Amazons today. Before we get started, we do want to remind you that if you are here through Gen Con Online, to go ahead and give your ticket for this event through the event details page. So if you need instructions, those are on the event dashboard page, as well as any of the Gen Con emails. So the attendees are responsible for turning those in, but it really helps Ravensburger to have those turned in, just so that Gen Con knows that those are being used and viewed, and lets us know that they like events like this.
Yeah, so hopefully we can do more.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm Tuck.
And I'm Chelsea.
And we're really excited again to be talking about Wonder Woman Challenge of the Amazons.
Yeah. And this game is actually designed by Prospero Hall, and it is for ages 10 and up, and it is 2 to 5 players, and the playtime will be roughly about 45 to 60 minutes. It is priced at $34.99, and it is currently available at Target, on Amazon, and at friendly local game stores in the U.S.
Yep.
So the basic premise of this game is the enemy has invaded the mascara, and so we'll have to work together to defeat them. And so for this game, we are actually going to be using Ares, and I'll show you kind of his board right there. And here's his really cool icon. Yep. So we will actually be using Ares for this game, but the game also comes with a couple of other enemies as well. So I'll give you Ares.
Thank you.
So the game also comes with the cheetah, as well as Circe. So you have a couple of options there. Additionally, the difficulty can be adjusted both according to the number of players as well as player preference. And so for this game, we'll be on standard mode with 2 players, and because of that, Ares' health track is actually going to start at 15.
Yep. So running into that, on each side of the game board, you have your health track. So on the right side, we have the enemy health track. So like Chelsea said, we'll be starting with 15 on standard for 2 players. And then on the left side of the board, we have the Amazon defenses, and that will always start at 20. So in order to win, we need to reduce the enemy's health track to 0 before the Amazon defenses get to 0. And then Ares actually has a special wing condition. In order to do the last point of damage to bring him down to 0 health, you actually have to hit him with a charged Sword of Hephaestus, which we'll be talking about a little bit as we go further in.
Yeah. And so with this game, you actually, as the player, you have 5 possible player mats that you can play, and I want to show some of these because they're all just so cool. And so here are a couple of those player mats.
So all the different kinds of Amazons that you could
Yes, and each kind of has their own special action as well when you choose them. Additionally, I just think this is super cool. They each come with their own minis. And what I love is you can see the detail of every piece of armor and the sword and just every strand of hair. Just super cool detail, and what a gorgeous, gorgeous piece.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, but for this game, we will actually be playing as Diana and Philippus. And so these are our 2 boards, and I will let you be Wonder Woman.
Thank you very much.
And I will be Philippus. And then just to kind of show our icons before I place them in the palace, because they are both really, really cool. Awesome. I am just amazed by the detail. Like shout out to the detail and to Prospero Hall.
It's always just nice to work with really nice detailed
nice
minis and pieces and artwork and everything.
Yeah.
All right. So all of your heroes will start in the palace, and then each round consists of 5 phases. And so on our phase card, we'll detail all of those. Yeah. And we'll kind of go through these in our first round just to kind of talk through them, but every round will have 5 phases. So let's go ahead and get started. Actually, the first one will be the start of round, and in this, the enemy always advances. So the enemy goes first. Now the way that this works is the first card that you draw will always tell you where the enemy goes. So you actually ignore the top part, and you just focus on the location. So the Temple of Aphrodite.
So right here.
Zeus will move to the Temple of Aphrodite. Ares will move to the Temple of Aphrodite, and then every time that he goes somewhere, he will bring with him 2 servants of war. And those are things that we need to defeat, or they will start lowering our defenses.
Yes. And then you actually draw a second card, and this is where we follow that other. So this card is threatening, and we will deploy 3 servants of war to the square.
Perfect. So depending again on the difficulty and the number of players, you may draw more than one card, but just with 2 players, we'll just be drawing 1 for the location and then 1 for the effect.
Yeah, and I'll put those up there so you can still kind of follow with that.
Perfect. All right.
So now we need some.
Now that the enemy has advances, we need to kind of come up with a plan. So round 2 is strategize together, and we will actually now be dealt cards. So the way that this works is you're going to get a few that are face up and a few that are face down. Now, Philippa's actually has a special action. Her special thing is that she gets 1 additional face up card. So she has 3, whereas I will only have 2. And then every player gets 3 face down cards that won't come into play until the next part.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and so since I have 3 cards in that special action, I just want to take a moment to kind of talk about the icons and the emblems that are on the bottom of each of these cards. So I'll kind of show you some of my cards that I have right now so you can see those emblems and some of those icons. But each of those icons, what they do is they actually help us take actions in order to fight back against Ares and his forces. And so as you can see on this card, it will tell you exactly. So we will need 3 cards that show wisdom on them in order to remove a corrupted Amazon. In order to remove a servant of war, we need 2 cards that show vigor,
Or
the
2
symbol.
points, yep.
Or 2, yes, 2 points that show vigor. And then for our agility, we would need 3 in order to remove a blockade, but the agility also helps for movement. So depending on how many, like for example, on one of my cards here, I have 2 of that agility icon, and so I can actually use that to move 2 spaces around the mascara.
Exactly.
So to kind of help. So you have 2 options there. If you could either use it to remove a blockade or in order to use movement around the board. And then you could also have 4 of any of the icons in order to deal 1 damage to Ares.
Exactly.
And then lastly, it's not really listed on that Ares card, but we do also have, I have a card that shows 3 leadership icons. Right here, that star icon is our leadership icon, and with that, I'm actually able to deploy warriors that will help, Amazon warriors that can help us, but only if I am at one of the 4 locations that has a star on the board as well.
Exactly. So as we go through in this strategize phase, what we're doing is you can only use 1 of the emblems per card. And so the idea is to put them into our action slots. We'll have 3 action locations. During the strategize, we kind of want to talk through what we want to do, make a little bit of a plan, and then here in the next one we'll actually implement that, and things may get a little messed up.
Yeah.
But we want to kind of talk through it. So, for example, I have one of my card that has some agility icons, so I may use that in my first action to try and get towards the Temple of Aphrodite,
Yes.
because that's where the Servants of War are, that's where Ares is.
Yes. Another nice thing is, since you have the Sword of Hephaestus, if you do end there, there is one of those that we need in order to charge up, and so you do need to end your turn kind of near that area.
Absolutely. So in 4 locations in the monuments and the temples, there are these blessings which I will need to collect in order to get a fully charged Sword of Hephaestus
Yes.
to eventually be able to defeat Ares. So that's, I
Yes.
think, definitely going to be my plan, is to work my way down here.
Okay, well then, if you're going to work your way down there, I think I might actually work my way up here, hopefully. I do have some movement. I do have 2 of the agility icons, so I could actually get closer and hopefully,
You can go that way.
or go that way. Look at that, a shorter route. So I can actually get up there to the square and hopefully be able to remove some of those Servants of War. I have a couple of things here and hopefully in here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I might deploy some Amazons because I do have those leadership. I have a couple of leadership.
Perfect. So once we've come up with a basic strategy of which direction we're going and what we want to do with that, now it moves into the battle begins phase. Now in that we will pick up the face down cards, but we're not allowed to talk. And the thing with this is that now that I have more cards in my hands, sometimes that plan changes, and I might have been able to say, you know, I'm planning to go do this, but in the heat of battle, your plans don't always work out. So we're going to take a quick second and pick from all of the cards that we now have in our hands, place them face down in the 3 action spots, and figure out actually what we're going to do. So I'll go ahead and take a quick moment and do that.
Yeah. All right.
All right. And then any cards that you don't use just get discarded.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. Almost ready. Almost ready. Almost ready. All right.
All right.
Battle plan has been set.
Perfect. So now at this point, we have moved into the take action phase. And at this point, you can use the agility or the stars, the leadership icons to do other things, or you're actually using those icons, like Chelsea said, to try and do those special actions of removing servants of war or defeating damaging areas and things like that. So we will take them one action at a time, and then within that action one, we can decide who goes first or anything like that.
Oh, nice.
So in mine, I decided to, I can first, yeah. So mine is inspiring. It has a nice little thing besides just the emblems. Also says that I can double one of the emblems of another hero in my region.
Yeah.
So since we're both in the palace, I did this to help Chelsea out if she wants to do something a little bit extra. You can now double whatever emblem you're using.
Nice. Thank you.
And
I
in
like
addition,
that.
I'll be using the feet to move down towards Ares.
Nice. So I did nimble. Mine does not have any special kind of action on it. It does have perfection. Sometimes is our worst enemy. And I'm going to be using it for those 3 agility icons, those emblems, to go ahead and move up to where, well, I guess I'll go the long way since I did choose the 3 to get up to the square
And
and,
since I
the
doubled
servants
it-
of war.
Since I doubled it, you actually have 6, which you don't need, but you can
I mean,
use some
might
of
as
them.
well, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got 4.
Okay. All right, let's go to action 2.
Nice.
So on mine, I have a note that I could double the emblems of one other hero in the enemy's region, but since I'm the only one there, I'm just going to use the 4 swords to take out the 2 servants of war. Since it takes 2 each, I'll defeat
Nice.
both of them.
Nice. The other thing that you could have actually technically done is use those 4 vigor emblems to hit Ares.
I know, I thought about that,
Yeah.
but the thing is that your defenses at the end of the round go down based off any locations that have servants of war deployed.
Yes.
So I was hoping if you can defeat yours and I defeated mine,
Yes,
maybe
I
we can
like
get
that. So with that thought in mind, I also I played Steadfast, and so Steadfast, this card has a special that I could double this card's emblems if it is my 3rd action, but it is only my 2nd action, so I only have 2 of those vigor emblems, and so because of that, I can only remove 1 servant of war from my area.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 3rd action.
Nice.
I was wondering why you...
Yeah, so I actually had 2 steadfast cards, and I wanted to make sure that I got rid of all of those servants of war up in the square with me, and so those were the only 2 cards that I had in my hand that had those vigor emblems, and so I needed to play both of them. But because this one is actually played as my 3rd action, I can now double those emblems, and so instead of just having 2 vigor, I now have 4, which means I can remove the last 2 servants of war from the square.
Very nice. All right. So mine was confident. I have 3 vigor or 2 wisdom. Neither of those helped, but I wanted to make sure to clear that out. And since I do finish with a blessing, I will get to pick that up and
Nice.
put that into my sword of Hephaestus. So I am 1 out of the 4 towards having a charged sword.
Yes. Perfect.
All right. So then we will now move on to the end of the round.
And also, high five.
Yeah, great
we
job there.
protected the mascara, and we do not have to worry about our defenses lowering.
Exactly. So,
This
like I
time.
said, this time, since there are no servants of war out, then we are safe this round.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, Ares, remember that first card will always just tell us the location, so you'll
Okay.
kind of ignore the rest of it. So he will move to the woods,
Okay.
and wherever he goes, 2 servants of war. So 2 will spawn at the woods. And then we have threatening, so we will deploy 3 servants of war to the shore. Down here.
All right.
All right. So let's see those cards.
All right, so we are now moving on to the strategize. So you will get 3 face up.
And I do agree, those are pesky servants of wars.
Now,
Okay.
I think I'm going to use my special. So once per round during the strategize phase, I can move 1 region. I'll go ahead and move to the watchtower, and that'll let me know, based off maybe in this round, what we can do is if I need to get to the shore or the woods or something like that.
Yeah, and that's something that's really cool. Outside of the fact that you can change, which enemy that you're fighting, and you have the option to play with 2 to 5 different players and different difficulty levels. What's really cool is each of those boards, those player mats, they each kind of have a special action. So it's really cool to read through and pick maybe and strategize amongst your friends and family. Who do you think the 2 best or the 3 best or are going to be for maybe that particular enemy? So I do like Diana's little strategy phase move, which
absolutely.
is cool.
It's very helpful.
Yeah.
Now, I do have something fun that came through. So I actually got a relic in my hand. So there's 2 things I could do. I could ignore this card, discard it, nothing would happen, and I would get a new card. But the relics, there are only 4 of them in the game, and they're pretty powerful.
This
4
one's
in
pretty
each game. This one's pretty good.
Yeah.
So this will, whenever you play Confident, you will double its emblems of whatever you want to use once we have this. So I think I will keep it. It says that it will go to the Temple of Athena.
Yeah, which
So
I'm
put
kind
that
of
down here,
right here
kind of covering
with.
it up. But now, very similar to the blessings, if you end your round there, you can pick that up and then have use of it. So that's pretty awesome. So I think I'm going to save that for later.
I think I might actually because I kind of think maybe you should head this way, and then, I guess you couldn't easily get to Temple of Athena, because that would be great if you could get that.
It would be, I know.
All right.
All right, so now we will strategize together and kind of form an idea of a plan here. I only have 1 face-up card, so mine don't have any agility on it, so I'm not sure how much I can move, but I do have a few of the vigors, so I may try and take out something somewhere if I have more of those.
Okay, I like that. So I actually do have quite a bit of agility. So I have Swift, which is just a beautiful card, and it gives us that lovely 4 agility movement. So my kind of thought here is because I also have Nimble, which has a lot of agility, and then Powerful will give me 4 of the Vigor, which I can actually hit Ares. And with all of my movement, I think I could easily get, and maybe we could hit him once, especially if you're going to try and work towards those Servant of Wars. And if we end on the same one, so Powerful, I can double the emblems of 1 other hero in the enemy's region.
So if I was there, then you could help that too.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's say let's try to end or be at the woods by our 3rd turn, and so maybe you can take out some of that stuff, or... What do you think?
I think that's a good plan. Like I said, I don't have any agility showing, but if I get some in my face down cards, I'll definitely try and make that happen.
All right.
All right.
Let's
So
see
now we'll
if,
pick these up.
Our battle plans change.
Exactly. All right.
Okay. I am a talker to myself, always.
Okay, I've got my battle plan set here.
I'm almost there. Okay, I do want to play that there. Okay.
Plan?
I have a plan. I have
right.
a plan. I'm proud
See how
of
it
this,
turns
I
out.
think.
The great thing about this is I like that idea of you can kind of discuss in a co-op game, but the idea of having then your own individual opinions with some information that you didn't have before that your other players don't have, I think is a really good way of working with a cooperative game. Whereas a lot of times they can feel like one person can kind of say, I need you to do this and you to do this, where this is very much has that individual feel of making your own decisions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
So let's see how it worked out. In action 1, what did you do?
So I stayed true to my battle plan, and I played Swift, which gives me 4 of that agility, and I'm going to use it actually for the movement portion, since I cannot currently remove a blockade since we don't have any out. And so I'm going to move my 4 spaces to join Ares at the woods.
Awesome. I, in my first action, actually used my leadership. I have 2 stars, and I'm at the watchtower that has that star emblem. So we will get then 2 warriors in my location, and then whenever I move, I can either decide, since I'm here with them, I can decide to bring them with me or to leave them here.
Yeah.
And they'll help us with the fight, which hopefully you'll see here in a second.
All right. So I actually played a second Swift because I had 2 of them, and they also have that 4 of those agility, which is great. I'm not going to move. I'm actually going to use that 4 agility, and if you remember with Ares card, you can use 4 of any of those emblems in order to deal 1 damage to Ares.
Awesome.
And so I'm going to use those 4 to deal 1 damage to Ares and drop him down to 14.
Very nicely done. I have adaptable, which has 3 emblems on it, which most cards only have 2. But if something were to happen, I could kind of maybe switch up my plan. But I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to use my 2 agility to move to the woods, and I'm going to bring those warriors with me there. Okay?
Nice.
And then in action 3.
All right. So I played Powerful, just like I said I was going to.
Wonderful.
And so that will double the emblems of one other hero in the enemy's region. But I have 4 Vigor, and so with that, I'm going to hit Ares. Or I could take 2 away.
Go ahead
I'm
and
going to
take 2
hit...
away.
I will take 2.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to switch. I'm going to take 2 of those Servants of War because we are going to end up having the shore left out, which will drop our defenses down a little bit. So this will kind of help hopefully not drop it down as much since we've kind of gotten off to a good start.
Yeah,
So,
we're doing well so far.
and
All
then
right.
I can double your emblems.
Thank you. So on mine, I actually have 2 things that I'm going to do. Persistent allows me to draw 2 extra cards into my battle plan, so those will be face down cards, which gives me a little bit more to think about next round, a little bit more option.
Yeah.
But I will be using the 3 Vigor on this one, those sword icons, and since you were kind enough to double those emblems, that gives me 6.
Nice.
And I have 2 warriors. So warriors are great in that they will, if you discard them from the board and you're in the same location, you can use each one to bump up your number of the emblems 1. So since I have 6, thanks to Chelsea, I am going to take these 2 warriors and make it 8.
Nice.
And I will hit Ares twice.
Nice. Which drops Ares down to 12.
That's awesome.
Well done.
All right. Now, though, at the end of this round, the enemy attacks, and we will lose 1 defense for each region with any number of Servants of War here. So since we have 1 region, our defense will go down to 19.
Not too bad. Not
too bad.
We still are in the lead here.
So far. Let's see how it goes. All right, so at the beginning, we need to
do Ares
have
location.
enemy.
Yeah, so Ares will move to the gardens.
Okay.
Which will be right here, and wherever he goes, he automatically spawns 2 Servants of War.
Exactly.
All right. Ooh, we have a new one. So we are going to deploy 1 blockade to all roads out of regions with 2 or more Servants of War.
All right, so we've got 1 here on the shore, and then each spot out of the gardens.
Cool.
Yep. Now, blockades really inhibit movement. So in order for us to get where Ares is, we will have to be in a place adjacent to one of those blockades, and then we have to do a special action to expend 3 of those agilities in order to break the blockade, and then we have to move in. So it really does limit our movement here.
Yes, quite a bit.
Okay.
All right.
So let's now get some cards for us to strategize with.
Thank you.
Philippus gets 3 face up, Diana gets 2 face up, and then 3 face down. And I actually will put those 3 with the 2 that I had from last round as well.
And you have another persistent, so you could kind of do that again, which is really cool.
Which is great. I'm going to go ahead during my strategize phase and move a region just to help me get a little bit closer, and I may even be able to block, to remove that blockade first thing. Let's see what we've got.
All right. So I do feel like we've been pretty good about hitting Ares right at the beginning. So we do, maybe if you could try and get, because then you could also get, if you got down here, that Spear of Athena.
Yes, that would be great. And the blessing for my sword of Hephaestus.
But there's no connection with the shore. So you'd have to be able to move quite a bit. Do you have a lot of movement?
I have 0 movement yet, but I've
agility.
got 5 cards face down, so I'm hoping
Yes.
that at least one of those will help me get towards, because I would only need 1, 2, 3 to get there, and then maybe I could take out a blockade, maybe pick up these things or something.
Okay. I also don't have a lot of agility emblems currently showing, which kind of, inhibits my movement capability. But I do have 3 with nimble. So I am kind of thinking I will work my way to the palace. Hopefully I'll have some more agility icons in my battle plan so I can take out that blockade. And then maybe move towards the gardens. And I can just be set up there for the next turn to maybe take those out.
Yeah.
Or should I go to the shore and try to get rid of these 3?
It depends what you've got in here, but I kind of trust you to make that decision on your own, whether you get here or here.
There is a blockade there as well.
Yeah, so let's see what we've got.
All right.
I trust you in this.
Good luck.
Wow, so much.
I know,
Ooh.
you have quite a bit right
All
now
right,
to look
so
at.
anytime this comes in a hand, whether it's the face up or the face
nice.
down, I actually have another relic. So I have the Sandals of Hermes,
Nice.
and with these relics, I pretty much always decide to kind of keep
Yeah.
those. So I will take the token for that and put it at the monument to
Over here.
Hermes.
There we go.
And then whoever picks this up, whenever they move,
So
once it
nice.
gets in their hand, they'll be able to move directly to any temple or monument, which are really spread around the board, so it really helps with that movement.
Yes. I like all the relics too. I think they really add.
All right, and with that, we will get back to our playing of the cards. Boy,
I know you have so many. How do you choose?
I know. Got it.
Hold on. Sorry. I just thought of something different. All of a sudden it hit and I just need to change what I was going to do.
And that's the way it works. I'm actually pretty proud of mine, if I can remember what it was. I have a terrible memory, and I'm doing something a little awkward, but I think it'll work out pretty well.
Okay, so I want to do that. I lied. I want to do that. All right. Okay.
Good?
Nope, I lied. I'm sorry. Now I am good.
Good
My
to
battle
go.
plan
All right.
is ready.
Perfect. Let's see if it actually plays out. That's the part I love about this. You get it set in your mind, and then you flip your cards, and you're like, I didn't
Yes.
plan that out. Or somebody did something in the previous action that kind of threw off what you were planning.
Yes.
So, action 1, what did you do?
I like that. Thank you. The best plans take careful consideration. I
Exactly.
appreciate that. Thank you. I'm so sorry. All right. So I played Swift,
Okay.
which does give me that agility. And I love Swift because it gives you those four agility. But I'm actually just going to use it to go right here to the watchtower.
Oh, no. Okay.
Are we headed the same way?
Well, yeah, I think so. I used this with 1 leadership to spawn 1 warrior here, which I was thinking it would go elsewhere, but that's okay. We'll help each other out.
You were for sure gonna head this way, like we discussed.
I'm also gonna do that.
Okay,
So,
that's good. That's
in
good.
action 2.
So I have nimble,
Okay.
which if you'd like, I am actually going to use those 3 agility emblems in order to remove a blockade.
Before you do
JK.
that, let me say what I was going to do and see if you want to change yours at all. I was going to use adaptable with 2 agility and a warrior to break this barrier.
Okay.
Would you like to use your nimble to actually move?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember what's here. Maybe. Can I look?
I don't think so.
I don't think I can. No? But sure,
I'm going to break this. I'm going to say that I break this.
I kind of did cheat because I did look at the card again.
I'm going to say that I break that, and then you are welcome to use those to actually take a movement.
So I guess I will move.
Okay. And then in action 3, I am going to use Swift to move 1, 2, and end up
Mine
down
is kind
here.
of down. Mine's kind of blocking, so I'll pull this down. That was really good. I have to admit, I technically kind of cheated because I did look and see that my next card was Confident, which does give me 3 of those vigor icons, so I could actually remove at least 1 of the Servant of Wars. But what I was originally going to do is I was going to use my 3 agility to break the blockade, leaving me at the watchtower, and then I would have on Confident 2 of those leadership emblems, so I was going to make 2 warriors there. Yeah.
So that's the way I really like it, because sometimes one person going ahead of the other can really change the battle plans.
Yes.
I'm glad that worked out. And you know what? With it being a co-op game, if you cheat a tiny bit every once in a while, it's not that big.
They don't know.
But I think that was pretty good. The worry that I have, and we had this happen a few times when we've played, if you have warriors that are left out at the end of the round, if Ares moves there, he will actually turn them into corrupted Amazons.
Yeah, which are shown by these.
Yeah, and those take quite a bit of wisdom to get off of the board, and they'll actually start working their way towards the palace. And any corrupted Amazons that are in the palace at the end of a round, we lose 2 defense for, which is really painful.
Yes.
So I think this worked out pretty well. Now, at the end of the round, we do have 2 locations with some Servants of War.
So we will go down to 17.
But on the plus side, I ended up in the Temple of Athena, so I will get another blessing in my sword, as well as the Spear of Athena. So whenever I play Confident, I can double its emblems.
Which is so nice.
Yeah, that's really good.
All right. So Ares will now move, and so he will go to the Colosseum.
Okay.
Perfect.
And with him, he always brings 2
2
Servants
Servants
of War.
All right. So our next card is Formidable. Deploy 2 Servants of War to Ares region. All corrupted soldiers would move 1 region toward the palace. So thankfully, we do not have any of those yet.
Yeah, that's nice.
But this is getting a little bit dangerous.
It is. So one thing we haven't run into is that if there is a region with 5 or more obstacles, so the Servants of War count, as well as those corrupted Amazons that we talked about. So if there's 5 in a region, we will lose 3 defense at the end of the round. So we really want to kind of break this up, definitely.
Yes.
So let's see what cards we get and see what maybe we can do about that.
Okay. Ooh, nice. Okay, okay. Well, I actually right away have a great card for where I'm at. So one of the cards I have is Bold, and this card is has a special action that you can double this card's emblem if it is your first action. And so I'm thinking no matter what's probably in that battle plan, I am probably going to play this card first because I will be able to double my 2 Vigor emblem to actually take out both of those Servants of War on my first turn. And then I'm thinking I'll start to move towards the Colosseum. Okay. Hopefully, I do have some movement with Nimble.
Yeah, that will get you there.
That'll get me there, and then hopefully in here I have something to maybe hit him or take off some Servants of War.
Perfect. So on mine, I have Bold as well, but it wouldn't really help me because I'm where there's a blockade here, and it doesn't have movement. So I'm thinking I've got enough to break the blockade.
Oh, nice.
So my idea is either to break it and get in here to try and take these out if I can. And if I can't, I may just try and meet you and maybe try and double one of your emblems or something like that.
Okay, I like the idea of meeting. I also like the idea, if you do have any agility, of just going straight up, because I do like to kind of get the sword, I think, as close to being possibly charged. I know we haven't gotten him past 12.
He's not quite there yet, but I do like
it just
that
makes me
well.
feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that we are prepared to hit him should it come up.
Exactly. Okay, so let's grab and go into the battle phase and see what we can actually do.
I'm actually going to just put that straight down. Ooh, so I actually got a relic as well.
Oh, nice.
So I have the golden armor relic, and that will actually go to the barracks.
Barracks.
And then this armor, so the golden armor, when moving, you may move directly to the enemy's region, then end your action.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty cool. Especially if you get it when we get closer towards maybe the end.
Exactly, yeah. All right.
All right.
So those cards actually go kind of off to the side until it is picked up. And then, so I've got my sword, my Spear of Athena sitting here to help me, remind me that if I have Confident, I can double its emblems.
Well, okay. All right. I've laid my plan.
Ooh, and I haven't gotten started at all. I've got about 3 different options of what I could do, and I'm not exactly sure what to do with them. So
Yeah.
let's do this, and then this,
Maybe
And
we got
then-
something good.
and then this, or this. I think I'm going to do this. We'll see how that turns
So
out.
it makes me feel better because I feel like I took a long turn the last time. So, all right, are we ready?
Okay, yes.
All right. So so far I've pretty much stayed true mostly to my battle plan. So I did play bold, and because it is my first action, I get to double the emblems that are on that card, and so I'm going to double my vigor emblem in order to take out both of those servants of war and clear at least that section of that region
Very nice.
of the Mysteria.
I went completely against my battle plan, and I played Confident, because when I play Confident, I can double its emblems.
Yes.
So it has 2 agility. I'm going to use that as 4 agility and move to Ares.
Okay. All right. All
Okay.
right.
In action 2,
So I'm going to join you. So I have 3 of those agility icons, and I am going to move to the Colosseum as well.
I'm glad you did that. I will play Confident, in which I can double its emblems.
Yes, because of that Spear of Athena.
Because of the Spear of Athena. So I now have 6 swords, so I will take out 3 warriors,
So
servants
nice.
of war.
Oh, that's so good.
Okay. Action
right.
3.
And then my final action, so unfortunately I didn't have many icons that did have, past my starting one, I didn't have any other actions that had emblems with vigor, so I wasn't really able, when I got to the Colosseum, to be able to take out any of the servants of war, but I did have Swift, which gives me 4 of those agility icons, which I've had a couple of times, and 4 of any icon, I can go ahead and deal some damage to Ares.
Before you do that, though, so doubling happens ahead of time, and I was hoping that you would be there. So double the emblems of one other hero in your region. So I will double your 4 to 8.
And we can hit,
And we can
Ares,
hit Ares twice.
twice.
Awesome. Now, in and of myself, I can't do anything with this. I've got 2 wisdom and 3 agility, which, given here, doesn't actually help it, but I did that so I could
move.
double, because I was hoping you would do that. I could move. That's
Go
a great idea.
Yeah.
I'll end it.
That's me.
All right, I'll end myself. Should I get... Yeah, I should. I'll
Yeah.
use that movement then. That's a great idea.
Yeah,
Thank you.
use the agility. Yeah,
And
that
I will
was
pick
perfect.
up a 3rd blessing and the Sandals of Hermes.
Yes.
So Sandals of Hermes now allow me, when moving, I can move to any temple or monument and then end my movement.
Well done.
Thank you very
I
much.
like how you made that plan without me knowing. Somehow we both kind of ended up there. And then the nice thing with like co-op is you're also able to kind of tell them of like, hey, wait, use that agility.
Exactly. All right. So now
right.
at the end, the enemy attacks. We do still have 2 locations
Yes.
with Servants of War, so we'll lose 2 more defense.
Hey, but our defense is at 15, which is where Ares started, and we have gotten him down to 10. So I feel
that's
pretty
pretty
proud of
good.
that. I feel proud of that.
Okay.
We do need a win. We have been losing lately.
Yeah.
All right, so Ares is going to move to the monument to Zeus,
Okay.
which is all the way up there with your final charge that you need for that sword. And we will deploy 2 to his location. And then move Ares to the closest hero. Replace all warriors in that region with corrupted warriors. Thankfully, we do not have one. And each hero in that region must move 1 region away if able.
Okay. So you have to move 1 away. Where would you like to move to?
I'm kind of thinking the palace,
Pretty
because it's kind of
centrally located.
central. I can maybe get a blockade, maybe get there, or go back up to finish that servant of war. Or Ares is which Ares is going to move to the monument of Zeus.
Nope, because he came to the Colosseum.
That's right. I'm
Because
so sorry.
he went to the closest.
The closest. So I'm kind of thinking the palace. I feel like that's a good place. I could
think
always
it's a good
go
spot.
back to go there, or I can try to get rid of some of this.
Agreed. Yep.
All right.
Yep. So he was pretty tricky. He moved, deployed
Yes.
to, and then came to you to throw you
Yes.
off. So, all right.
Beautiful
let's,
artwork, though.
I know. I love all of the cards and the quotes on them and just kind of everything.
Yes.
All right. Let's strategize. Now, during the strategize,
All right.
I think I'm actually going to use my special to move one region, and I'll start in the Colosseum, so maybe I can
Nice.
hit something before we get going there.
Nice. I do have bold, but I'm kind of...
Not much you can do there.
Yeah. I wish I could play my bold, but my emblems kind of don't really help with where I am for my first action.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, some of them that say you want to do something in your first or your third action, you really want to make that happen, but it just doesn't work out all the time.
All right,
All right,
well,
so I've got a Swift that I may use right away
Yes.
to attack Ares since I'm here.
oh, nice.
I don't have any other vigor or any like 4 kinds of things,
But
except
you do have
I do
some
have one.
agility.
I do have some agility, and I can double emblems if it's my third action, so I may use this to hit him again in my third. Otherwise, depending on what else I have,
That, or you could use your agility and try to get up here to get the final charge and maybe get rid of some of that stuff.
that's true too. Yep.
So what I'm seeing right here, I'm hoping I have something in my battle plan to kind of mix with it. But I can right now, I do have 2 agility on adaptable where I could go back up to the Colosseum. And I will have 2 vigor, so I can get that final servant of war. So we at least
Okay.
don't have to worry about, since you're going to hit
Losing
Ares,
defense.
since you're already there, I will get rid of that servant of war. And then depending on what I have here, I might try to hit Ares since I'll be there for my final turn, or because I am also at a star location, I might do some warriors
Okay.
there. So hopefully if I
Hopefully
have...
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we've got.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and play this first. All right. There's that.
You know
I
what?
believe in you.
That's what I'll do. Oh, that still doesn't work. No, I thought I had
No.
a good idea, but it doesn't work
I keep
that way.
wanting to look to try and see what cards you're picking, but I need to be good and not look at it. I also apologize if you guys hear any noise kind of in the background. I think our cat has discovered where we are, and they are starting to scratch at the door. I see. How long is a typical game? Playtime is usually about 45 to 60 minutes, roughly. But that also can change because you can change kind of that the difficulty can be adjusted both according to the number of players and player preference. So maybe depending on that, that might, or how long it takes for you to strategize.
Yep.
Sometimes
Yep.
I take a little bit too much time picking my cards.
Sometimes there are too many things that you can do.
Yes.
So, all right, let's see what we've got here. So on action 1,
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. I saw the comment of let that cat play. I wish Thea would love to join. She is very ferociously trying to be an Amazon herself right now.
exactly. All right, I did adaptable as well. My emblems are a little different than yours, but my thought was since I'm already at the Colosseum, I'm going to bring 2 warriors that,
Okay.
since we've got the Servant of War as well as Ares, I figure we'll definitely use them
Yeah.
before they can maybe be corrupted.
Yeah, that was nice. I like that you used that. So I also played adaptable, but I'm going to use the agility to move and join at the Colosseum.
Perfect, okay. Action 2, I did adaptable as well.
Yeah. I did resourceful, and so I do have 2 of that vigor, and I can take that servant of war, make that go away.
Perfect, okay. So on mine then, I had a few things I could do here, and I played it here so I could kind of see what you did and kind of even talk to you. I could use this as movement to maybe move, because with my Sandals of Hermes, I could teleport to the monument.
Oh, nice. And then
my
end your turn there.
Alternatively, we've got 2 warriors and I've got 2 icons. We could hit Ares once, but then I wouldn't be able to get over to the monument of Zeus.
I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know. Okay, so if we did hit him, I really want to look because I'm now completely forgetting what that card is, what my 3rd card is. But I know I already did it once today, and I admitted that that was cheating, kind of.
Yeah, you can't
so I'm
look
not
at
gonna
it.
do
You
it
just have
again.
to tell me.
I know. I'm kind of thinking maybe hit Ares because we are right there, and I mean we still have quite a bit. I mean we're only at 10 on his health track before, and it needs to be in that kind of final blow. So I think we'll be able to end up there.
And with the Sandals of Hermes, I should be able to get there quick enough. So I think you're right. Let's use the warriors. I'll use my 2 emblems of agility, and I'll hit him for 1 in that turn there.
I like that.
Then in action 3.
All right, so because the Colosseum is one of those star locations, and I played Nimble as my final turn, and that does give me 2 of those leadership icons, we will actually get 2 warriors back.
Awesome. All right, I played Steadfast, so I can double the card's emblem as if it's my 3rd action.
Oh, nice.
So I will use 2 agility, double that to 4, and hit Ares once again.
Very nice.
Leaving those warriors out for next time. The only worry is, since they are left, if Ares does happen to go to the Colosseum or play that card, sometimes
what we just
that can corrupt them. So hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll
Fingers
see.
crossed. All right. So
I feel like we're doing decently well here.
I feel like we are doing pretty good. Thanks to all of you. I feel like you guys have really helped us.
Yeah.
All right. So first, Ares is going to move to that monument to Zeus, which is up there with everything.
He's going to bring 2 more.
Which gets us kind of in that danger zone.
I feel like maybe we should start heading that way.
Yeah, you might want, during the strategy phase, move a little bit closer. All right, so our card is Formidable. So we are going to deploy 2 corrupted Amazons to Ares region. And then all corrupted move 1 region toward the palace.
Okay. So corrupted Amazons only hurt our defense when they get in the palace, but they hurt really badly.
Yes, and since we haven't had any of them out yet, we will need 3 wisdom in order to remove 1 corrupted Amazon, which, really quick though, we forgot before Ares took his turn to take away from the 2 regions from our defenses where we had Servants of War left. So I know we added 2 here, but we did have 2 previously, so we will lose 2 and go down to 13 as our defense track. So I apologize. I forgot to do that. That was one of my things.
Yep, that's good. Good to remember. Okay, so let's go into the strategy phase.
All right.
And we are actually out of cards, which is no problem at all. We're just going to shuffle back up and deal some more.
All right. Ooh, and while you kind of do that, I will show you actually got a relic. And so the final relic came out, the Lasso of Truth, and that will go to the vault right here. And so the Lasso of Truth, when moving, you may choose 1 type of obstacle to move with you. And the really cool thing kind of about the Lasso of Truth is it is 1 type of obstacle. So if you were, let's say at the Monument of Zeus and you wanted to choose Servants of War, you can choose how many you want to move with you. So you don't have to move all 4. You can move 1. It's just 1 type of obstacle.
Yeah,
so
as many as you want,
that's kind of helpful, especially if maybe you get into that scary thing where if you get 5 or more, it's kind of the danger zone, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
All right.
I think during my strategy phase, I'm going to take my movement. Now, with moving, since I have warriors here, I can bring them with me if I want. I think it would be good to kind of bring with us. I don't see any detriment. So
I'm fine with that.
I'm going to move to the palace and bring our warriors with us, and that'll give us a little bit more options. Now, as far as discussing, because of that relic, I only have 1 to talk about.
Yes.
It is bold. I can double if it's my first action, which is not going to be helpful to us at all.
Yeah.
So,
well,
what do you have?
I don't have, honestly, too much agility that is currently showing. I only have 2. in the agility. So I was thinking I could end up at the barracks. Unfortunately, though, I also don't have too much wisdom showing. But with what's showing at the moment, oh no, because that's my wisdom. You know, to be honest, I really need to see what's in my battle plan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I do too. So let's see
All
what's
right.
in here, and we'll just do the best we can.
Best of luck to you. That didn't sound the greatest. That response
it's
to
real
looking at
bad.
your cards.
It's real bad
That
today.
made me a little nervous. Okay. Whew. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Goodness.
I'm really counting on you here.
Oh.
Because as you heard from that sharp intake of air, I was a little shocked at my actions. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
All right, action 1.
So
What did you do?
I'm going to play an experience, and it gives me 2 agility icons. I also had 3 of those wisdom, but I'm not really in a location in which I could use it. So I am going to move those 2 to be at the barracks.
Now, as you move through,
I
would you
would,
like
yeah.
to pick up those warriors
Yeah,
as you go?
Can I?
Yes,
I'm actually going to
please
take
do.
both of those warriors.
Yeah, as you passed through the palace, Diana called and hollered out and said, "Please take them with you."
Yeah, I hope that's safe. I kind of always tend to forget my third action for some reason once I play it, and I have no idea what I was expecting to do now.
That makes sense. All right, action 2. We'll get there and we'll see what happens. Oh, on mine,
Yeah, what did you do?
I did nothing because mine I can either use 2 vigor or 2 leadership, neither of which work here.
Yeah, you're not really
Which
in
really
a-
shows well for the rest of these actions.
Cool.
Okay?
I'm
All right.
ready. All right. So I played Experienced again, and I do have 3 of those wisdoms. So we
Wonderful.
will be able to get rid of 1 of those corrupted Amazons. And so
Awesome.
I'm liking my odds. It is now 3 against 1 against that corrupted Amazon.
Perfect. For my second action, I did nothing again. So I had no agility in my hand,
Oh no.
which meant that I was stuck at the palace. And also to remove a barricade takes agility. Which meant that I am stuck in the palace doing nothing this round. So just as a heads up, my third action will be just as useless.
All right. Well, I have adaptable, and I'm actually going to stay. I have 2 wisdom on this card, but I am going to use one of my warriors, so it can be 3, and we can get rid of that corrupted Amazon.
Wonderful.
And then I do end at the barracks, so I will get the golden armor.
Perfect. So keep that nearby.
Yeah. And this again, when moving, I can move directly to the enemy's region and then end my turn,
Awesome.
which may not. I don't know.
It'll be great if you
It
want to
will
hit
be
them.
great. I'm a little bit nervous because we didn't really hit too much of that area, but
Yeah, so now at the end of the round, we have 2 locations that have Servants of War. We don't have 5 here, which means that we only lose the 2, so that's good.
but our defenses are getting pretty close to Ares. So he is at an 8, and we are at
Yeah,
11.
he's catching up to us a little bit
Yes.
faster than we like here. So what does he do to us?
All right, so he is going to move to the Monument to Hermes. And 2 Servants of War will join him there. And then for this one, we will deploy 1 corrupted Amazon to each of the starred regions. So those are the regions where we could have, we can deploy our own warriors.
Yep.
And then replace all warriors in those regions with corrupt, and I have 1
You have
chilling
1
with
here.
me. And so they become corrupt.
That one hurts a little bit.
That does hurt.
Especially since if
They're so spread
they're close,
out.
They're very spread out and they're very close to the palace if we get that card where they all kind of move towards. So
Yep.
we need to be really careful there.
Okay, so we are definitely going to be needing some wisdom emblems, hopefully, so we can start to take those out.
Absolutely.
And I guess asking you shall receive, because I do have right here, I have experience with
Perfect.
3.
And
so,
you're with them.
Yeah, so I will probably keep this as my first and just try to get rid of that.
I don't have any wisdom. I've got some swords, which don't help yet. I think I'm going to stay here instead of using my action, because if nothing else, I could use my nimble to break the barrier and maybe get to the gardens, or I could get up to the monument of Zeus to where these.
Well, I'm also
Servants
right
of
there,
Laurel.
and I have some agility. So depending on what's here, if I can't get any more of the, the corrupted Amazons right where I am, I can at least go up and maybe I have something really inspiring here, and I can take out a couple servants of war.
Okay.
If you want to try and get these, or if you end up having movement, maybe going to one of these or one of the other locations.
Okay. Or even up to the monument.
Yeah,
so
I mean, yeah.
Let's see. Okay, let's see what we've got.
Although, if you did move up there, you would be able to charge the final of the sword.
That's the tough part. There's so many different things you can do.
Yeah, it's always very... Nope. I lied. Okay. I feel pretty ready with that.
Okay. I may regret this, but I think I'm going to do that, and then that, and then that. All right. All right, we're going to call it there. See what we've got. All right.
Okay, so...
Action 1.
I had bold, which, again, bold, if it's your first action, you can double this card's emblems. And so I had 2 of those wisdom icons, so I'm going to double it to 4, and I will be able to, because you need 3, I can remove 1 of those corrupted Amazons.
Perfect. I actually use this as the agility, and I am going to go to the monument to Hermes here.
Nice. All right.
Action 2.
So I have experienced, which actually gave me 3 wisdom right there.
Awesome.
So I will remove that second.
That's really nice. I use Swift, which has 4 agility,
Nice.
so I will hit Ares once.
Well done.
Thank you very much. And action 3.
I did have agility, but because I didn't want to move and then just kind of end somewhere, I'm going to use it for that for the 3 leadership, so I can bring out 3 warriors to kind of hopefully help us in the future.
I use Steadfast, which I can double if it's my 3rd action.
Very nice.
And I've got 2 more agility, which I will double and hit Ares once more to bring them down to 6.
All right.
All right.
I like that.
Now, at this point, we do need to start wrapping up. So I want to kind of talk through the way that the game ends. So we're getting pretty close, actually, to defeating Ares here. But in order for us to finish that up, I would need to get the last blessing in order to fully charge my Sword of Hephaestus. So I've got 3 out of the 4 blessings. I would need to grab that, and I would need to be the one to hit him from 1 health down to 0.
Yes.
The way that we would lose, which we're looking pretty good right now.
I know.
But
we
at
haven't
the end
done
of this
our,
round,
yes.
we would lose 3 defense for that.
Woo! We're neck and neck.
Neck and neck. But overall, we've found this to be a really fun game.
So enjoyable.
We've found, as some of the comments were saying, it's really good as a couple game. You can play with 2 people really well, but you can also go up to 5 players.
Yeah.
And it gets a little bit more chaotic as people are trying to figure out how their actions interact and what happens in what order. But we found it to be really, really fun.
Yeah. And so we definitely recommend it. And don't forget, you do also have different enemies that you can play against as well. And so there was also the cheetah. And there's 2, depending on how many players and preference, you can choose kind of which side and how much health and what's needed, as well as Circe.
And the cheetah is actually really cool. The cheetah actually has an additional lose condition. So she's pretty tough because as you're playing through with her, she has some different cards and actions that will mill her deck and actually cause her to discard from her pile. And if you get through 3 times through her deck, you automatically lose. So it's not just about playing well, it's also with her playing quickly and trying to make sure that you really hit her hard and quick.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you guys again just for joining us on our stream. We had a lot of fun playing and talking about. We love Wonder Woman Challenge of the Amazons. Again, it is available now at Target, on Amazon, and at your local friendly game stores. So hopefully you'll pick up a copy and defeat Ares, Circe, and the cheetah.
Absolutely. Thank you all, and I hope you have a great time at Gen Con.
Bye.